Looks like we are connecting. Good morning, good morning. I don't know if we're on yet. But if we are on, then good morning and welcome. Happy Sunday. This music might be too loud. Too low. Better? Swiss, hello! Confirmation, we are online. Hi friend, how are you? Happy Sunday. It's so good to be back. Hola. Okay. Easy chilled Sunday. Good. That's good to hear. That's how they're meant to be. I think Sunday's supposed to be chill by design. That is good for the rest of us. We're like midsummer, huh? It's been kind of, I don't know, cloudy here in San Diego. But it was still pretty hot yesterday. when the sun did come out. Can't complain though, can't complain. Just got back from a visit to the East Coast and that was weather-wise very uncomfortable. So I really can't ever complain about the weather here in San Diego. When I say it's humid here, it's nothing compared to back there, so. Oh man, it is good to be back here with you guys. It's been a while. There was no way I was going to be able to, never say never, but it was just, yeah, being on the East Coast and just like couch surfing different family homes was very, very unlikely that I would have been able to stream from there, so it's good to be home and back to normal. But the trip was really nice. I got to see family. I hadn't seen my mom since 2019 because of COVID. So, good morning. Thank you. Hi, Ben. That's just not gonna work. Okay, cool. So it was just really nice to reconnect and yeah, and see my mom again. So, oh, that's who I was supposed to text to tell her that I was gonna be on for yoga. As I say that, let me text my mom real quick. She drops in sometimes to class with us. Alright. Dope. So, does anybody have anything in particular that they'd like to work on, or any body part that we want to focus on today? Of course, I always like getting some neck stuff in. Like, we'll have a full body class, but if there's anything in particular, let me know and I'll make sure to add it in. Very nice. You don't want to be on screen. So, as shoulders and legs, please. You've got it. Yeah, I've got some lunges planned. Yeah, okay, I will do the eagle arm thing that I was planning. So, cool. Yeah, that all works out with what I had planned. So, it's all levels, and of course, here we go. Everything that I lead you through is an invitation, so don't get hung up on it having to look any specific kind of way. It's not a dance routine, so it doesn't have to be as fast as I'm going. You can slow it down. You can speed it up and put in more reps if you want to. Make it more challenging. However you're feeling today is going to be of most service to you is going going to be my invitation and encouragement to you. Slow it down or speed it up. And yeah, don't get too hung up on how it looks. Instead, focus on how it feels. We'll start with a seated meditation, go into movement, yoga, lymphatic shaking, primal movements, functional strength training type work. And then we'll end with a nice long shavasana, final relaxation pose. And yeah, I'll lead you through all of that. I'll play some singing bowls for you while I have them. And yeah, so let's get started. Seated up nice and tall. So you might be in a chair, and that's just fine. Just scoot forward a bit so you're not pressed up against the back of it or slouching into it. If you're sitting on the floor, like me, I like sitting up on like a folded blanket or a block. I just have my hips a little bit higher. Like sitting cross-legged, Sukhasana, but any variation of legs works just fine. We'll bring our hands to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give today. Eyes can close or lower to a soft gaze just beyond your legs. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out of the mouth, shoulders drop away. Allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available, returning to a natural breath's pace. Seated up nice and tall, like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head towards the sky. Heart comes over hips, spine in alignment. And we'll take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. And become present to yourself here in this moment, here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. Maybe sounds at a distance, like passing traffic or singing birds. Sounds might come from within your home, the humming of a light, the shuffling of a pet. Allowing all sounds in all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Feel the weight where your body makes contact with the ground below you. The weight of your hands on your knees. And just get a general sense of how the whole body feels. And we'll scan down the body from head down towards toes. Checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity. any restlessness or fidgeting. Just using this information not to judge, but to inform our movement practice later in class today. We'll shift that awareness from the body, Annamaya Kosha, to Pranamaya Kosha, the energetic level. Notice where you're at energetically on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And bring the attention to your breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, and whatever space in between. Shifting the awareness up to Manomaya Kosha, the mind. Just allow thoughts and feelings to arise naturally, but no need to engage, just observing them from a distance, like clouds passing in the sky. Notice what are the quality of the thoughts today. Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they ruminating on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. We'll bring that attention back down to the breath. This time actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale lets something go. And we'll start our pranayama breathing exercise, our 3-part breath, Dirga Pranayama. Just beginning by breathing in and out to the belly. You can even bring your hands onto the belly to feel it expanding. On the inhale, belly expands, inflating like a balloon, getting larger. And exhale, deflate, belly button pulls in towards spine, really squeezing all the air out. Inhales, fill belly. And exhale, releases. Inhale, fills belly and ribs, ribs expanding. Exhale, releases ribs, and then belly. Inhale, fills belly, ribs, and chest, air filling all the way up till the collarbones. And exhaling chest, ribs, belly deflate. Continuing like this, inhaling from bottom to top, exhaling top to bottom. Allow space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw relaxes, whole face relaxed. And if the mind wanders, bring it back to the breath, back to the three parts. The next time you exhale, no rush to get there. Releasing any effort from the breath, just returning to a natural breath space. Perhaps you find your natural breath space is now a bit deeper or fuller than it was at first glance. That three-part breath helps us build this relationship with the breath and deepen our lung capacity. Hands come to meet at heart center in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers and the thumbs pressed into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice, your reason for showing up to your mat today. And the invitation is just to set it in the positive and affirmative tense. So it might sound something like, I flow through life with ease and grace. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. First, a cleansing breath. Of course, you're invited to chant along with me. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest. And on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest. And left ear rolls towards left shoulder. Just allowing the head to gently roll side to side. On a scale of 1 to 1 billion power level, thank you. Have night easy. Welcome, welcome. How are you feeling today? Happy Sunday. So we're just gently opening up the shoulders and the neck. And the next time the right ear is over the right shoulder, we'll hold it there. Right hand comes to land on top of the head. We're not pulling, just the weight of the arm is enough. And left arm reaches away. Slowly lowering down, actively reaching through the fingertips until they're just grazing the ground. So we're really opening up the space between ear and shoulder, giving the side of the neck, the trapezius muscle, a little bit of a stretch. You can give the head a little nod, yes. To find where the sweetest part of the stretch is. Once you find it, you can Hold it there, and the breath continues. And we'll gently release the hand down to the lap. Chin rolls down through your chest. Left ear over left shoulder. Left hand comes to land gently on the side of the head. And right arm reaches away. Slowly lower the arm down until fingertips are grazing the ground. Remember, we're not pulling with this arm, just the weight is going to be enough. And here we'll give the head a little nod, yes. Keep this left shoulder relaxed away. When you find a nice spot that feels good with the stretch, we'll hold it there and the breathing continues. So we hold the body in shapes, but we don't hold the breath, we keep it going. Every exhale, an opportunity to relax into the pose. We'll release the arms back down to the lap, chin rolls down through chest, bring the head up to neutral. We have to roll the shoulders forward. So we're just going to wake the body up, head down to toes. Just some gentle, dynamic movements. Roll the shoulders back, allowing the space in the chest to open up. And here it's almost like, the beginning part's almost like we're running a diagnostic exam. We're just checking in to see physically how the body's feeling after doing that head to toe internal body scan when we're just in stillness. Sometimes in movement we're able to find things that otherwise we hadn't noticed. Might be tight or need some attention. So just come to stillness in the shoulders. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. And exhale, right arm releases down, left arm reaches over. Side bending. Keep the left hip glued to the ground or the block or blanket. Inhale sweeps you up overhead. Exhale over to the side. You can bend in the left elbow to get even deeper in the side bend. But these don't have to be the biggest movements or deepest movements of your life or even of class. We're just in the warming up part. Give it like a little twist at the bottom of the bend too. Nothing too crazy. It's not a full twist. Just kind of exploring a little space. Really opening up these intercostal muscles, the space between the ribs. The next time we sweep over to the right, let's hold it there. So you might have that right arm extended. You might bend the elbow a bit. Elbow might even reach the ground. But don't forward fold to make that happen. Either wherever you're at, you just want the deepest stretch available to you. Still, that hip is glued to the ground. We're opening up the space in the side body. And here, let's just give some big back strokes. Continuing to open up the space in the shoulders, upper back, and chest. Any clicking or cracking, like we're just noticing. Sometimes those clicks and cracks aren't even painful. Like, I'm a pretty crackly person myself. So it's just something to notice. Not like, oh, that's bad or good or anything like that. Sweep it over to the left. As that left hand touches down, just notice, where is your deepest expression of this side bend, this lateral bend? Maybe it's the elbow bent, maybe it's the elbow on the ground. One side might be different than the other, that's cool too. And then you'll feel here, as you press this right hip into the ground, the stretch gets even deeper. And you give some back strokes here. Just seeing where your range of motion reaches. And let's sweep it back up to center. Take a deep breath in to reset. And exhale, twist to the right. left hand lands on right knee, right hand lands on the ground behind you, and then chest opens towards the side wall. So we're twisting the spine like a spiral staircase towards the right side. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, we twist left. Right hand lands on left knee, left arm lands behind you. We're twisting the spine towards the left. Following the breath in to rise, out to twist. In to rise, or into center, out to twist. Almost like you're wringing out a sponge. Once more to the right. Stay in training. Hello. Happy Sunday. Been lurking. Thanks for the lurk. Feel free to hop in anytime, guys. And as you're twisting to the right, let's hold it here, and the breath continues. So I've got my left hand on my right knee, my right hand on the ground behind me, close to my back. And it's almost still like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. So I'm really pushing my right shoulder back, pressing my left shoulder forward to deepen the twist. Bring it back through center. And twist it out to the left. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. Imagine your spiral staircase, your spine like a spiral staircase, twisting from base to center to top. And still breathing fully, even in the contortion of a twist. Bring it back through center, arms sweep up. How to level 9,000, excellent. Alright, so we're gonna release the arms down. Let's extend the legs out in front. And we've been sitting cross-legged for quite a bit here. Spread and stretch the toes, roll out the ankles. Roll out the ankles in the other direction. Bend in the knees, feet come nice and wide, and drop the knees side to side. So we're just waking up the hips here. Let the feet be far enough apart that when the knees come down, they don't stack on top of each other. When the legs come down, they don't stack on top of each other. They drop towards the ground. Nice. And next time there, fall over to the right. We'll come into our tabletop pose. See actually what's happening. Just put the chat closer so I can see you guys. Okay. Hey, Evolve Yourself TV. Happy Sunday. I'm doing great. So nice to be back in my own space, practicing with you guys. So here we are in tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees below hips. On an inhale, belly drops, hips and chest rise for cow pose. And exhaling, we press the ground away, round in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest for cat. Inhaling through cow. And exhaling through cat, rounding in the spine. So on that inhale, through cat pose, the hands are pressing down and back, knees are pressing down and forward like you're trying to scrunch your mat together. That's going to give you a deeper grip and a deeper arch in the spine. As you exhale through cat pose, hands press down and forward, knees press down and back, like you're trying to spread your mat apart. And that's going to deepen the rounding in the spine. Following your own breath here, let the speed of your body be informed by the length of your breath. We practice calibrating levels of our being, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. The more calibrated, the more in alignment we are with ourselves, the more ease we'll be able to navigate life through. And then releasing to neutral. Let's tuck the toes under and sit back on the heels. So your feet are getting a nice little stretch here. Bring our hands up. Let's just interlace the fingers and wrist floss. Just want to do a little bit of wrist resiliency here. So we're just making figure eights with interlaced hands, and then change directions. The other direction usually feels a little awkward, but we're just bringing in some dynamic movement, and this just signals the body to send some synovial fluid to those joints. And then just like shaking off water, nice and gentle. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Bring the hands back down to tabletop, untuck the toes, and inhale, the right arm sweeps open towards the sky in a tabletop twist. Exhaling, we weave the arm through without landing, just reaching. Inhale, arm sweeps open. Exhale, weave the arm through. Once more, inhale, arm sweeps up. And exhale, weave it through. This time we land on the side of that shoulder, side of the head for thread the needle pose. Hips stay over the knees here, and the left hand's pressing the ground away, pressing this left shoulder over the right shoulder. This is a twist in the spine happening here. This bottom arm presses into the ground nice and strong. You should feel a stretch in that right shoulder blade. And just notice by pressing into the ground stronger or softer, you can kind of navigate or redirect where you feel the stretch in that bottom right shoulder. Option here is to extend the left arm overhead. That feels good for me, but you can always keep the hand where it was before. And option here to tuck the left toes under, extending the left leg long to bring a little balance into it. Option here is to point the toes, let the foot float, the whole leg float up. Nice and slow. So momentum is not your friend here. If you kick up, you'll likely fall back. You're already really close to the ground, so don't get too hung up or afraid of falling. You're more than likely just going to roll over onto your butt and you'll be fine. And you can just reset. This is definitely your safe space to explore things like that, because if you do fall out, literally nobody can see you. There's like nothing to be embarrassed about or anything like that. You're just in your own home. Yeah, so I'm reaching through these left toes. Like, when I say reaching, I mean like actively pressing away as if I could make my leg longer. Just activating that whole line of energy from my left fingertips to the toes. Then we'll float that back down. I just tuck, rather flex the foot so that I land down on my foot. Bend in the knee, bringing them back down next to the right knee. Left hand comes down in front of the chest. Now let's sweep the right arm open, like pressing rewind towards the sky, and then hand touches down. I'm just going to turn myself so I can continue seeing you. As we are going to even it out on the other side, the left arm sweeps open towards the sky, tabletop twist. And exhale, weave the arm through, reaching without landing underneath that right arm. Inhale, sweeps the arm open towards the sky. Exhale, weaves the arm through, reaching without landing. One more sweep open. And exhale, this time we reach as far as we can and then land down. Side of the head and left shoulder touch down to the ground. We keep the hips up over the knees and the right hand's pressing into the ground, pressing the right shoulder over the left shoulder. So my shoulders aren't perfectly stacked, that's just the direction I'm headed in. I'm trying to peel my chest open and away from the mat. you just go the distance that works for you as we build up the flexibility in the spine, your range of motion and mobility in twists like this will open up. There's no rush to get anywhere. There's really no medal to arrive. There's always more space to go, you know? So, option here is to extend the right arm up overhead. Form is immaculate. How long have you been practicing for? Oh, thank you, Evolve. I've been practicing for 17 years. Like 1-7, so it's been a while. Alright, option here to extend the right leg long, tucking the toes under. Yeah, I started practicing when I was 14. So, yeah, it's been a minute. 14, 13. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna point the toes if you are playing with the balance, and extend, maybe float that leg up. So yeah, like I said, there's always more to go. There's no, I promise, there's no ending point. Like, legit, I've been practicing for 17 years. My knees still don't touch the ground in bound angle pose. You know, like, alright, cool. Maybe my body will literally never do that. That's okay. And it doesn't mean I'm not closer than I was before, but really, like, the shape of a pose is not, like, the longer you do yoga, I feel like the less it's about getting into certain shapes with your body, if that makes sense. I got like one more breath here, really reaching through the right toes, and then slow float down. So on the way down, we want as much control as on the way up. It's called eccentric movement. Gently release that knee down, and it helps build those stability muscles in the body. Right hand lands in front of the shoulder, left arm sweeps open like pressing rewind towards the sky. And exhale, that hand touches down for our tabletop pose. That explains it. Thank you. Thanks, yes. I definitely obsess over alignment more so than really anything else. I just want to be doing this as long as possible. I don't want to like injure myself doing something basic or like fancy that's just messy. More about energy flow probably. Yeah, I think it is about energy flow. Let's how do I want to do this? Yes, let's tuck the toes under. And this is, I don't know if I've done this with you guys before, but this is a really great strength building pose. So the toes tuck under. We're in our tabletop pose, but then we're just gonna lift the knees off the mat. So I don't know if you can see with the sun, but my knees are just like at the same distance from the ground as my ankles are. I'm not gonna arch my spine or round it like cat or cow. It's perfectly neutral like tabletop, and pressing my shoulders away. My hands into the ground, pressing the ground away, space between my shoulder blades. So this is like space for a bear crawl, but we're not bear crawling. We're just gonna hold it here. Engage in the abdominal muscles, so your belly's really engaged here. One more breath. Then, extend the legs up for downward facing dog. I don't know if that was challenging for you guys. That was pretty challenging for me. Give the head a shake out. We can paddle out the knees. First downward dog of class, likely of the day. It is for me. So just finding a little spacing here, bending and extending one leg and the other, dropping one hip and then the other. You know what it is? You're the one who said it. I'm not easy. Is more. I feel like the more I do yoga, the less it is about, being able to do a handstand or even like get my heels to the ground, a downward facing dog, and the more it's about making time to just like connect with reality. Like in yoga, if you start like future tripping or worrying about the past, like you're gonna fall out of the pose. You're gonna, what's it called? Get lost or like miss a step or anything like that. I feel like in the rest of my life, it's really easy to start thinking about completely unrelated things to the present moment. So like I'll be walking Lucy, right? And but be thinking about something that's happening like 4,000 miles away. But that's not reality. Reality is like I'm walking my dog, you know? Alright, so here we are, downward facing dog. Let us send the right leg up and back behind you. So three-legged dog. And then here, just bend in the right knee and stack the right hip over the left hip. So I'm peeling this hip open, as if the heel's going to touch my butt and my knee's going to touch the ceiling. Just for your breath. Then square the hips back. Toe points, three-legged dog. Knee comes in towards nose for tiger's pose. So round in the spine like cat pose. Lift up onto the tiptoes of the left foot and bring the shoulders up over the wrist. Right foot steps between the hands. So it's okay if that took more than one step. You can just wiggle it up until the foot comes all the way forward. Yeah, lessen thoughts and more present moment. Yeah, just like committing to the present moment is easier, at least for me in yoga, than it is in the rest of life. But beginning to apply it to the rest of life, I think, is like the real magic, you know? Alright, so let's gently release the left knee down to the mat and untuck the toes. Right knee is over right ankle. So if that's not true, if you're here and your knee's past your ankle, just tiptoe your back foot back until you get this knee up over the ankle. Untuck. Alright, so I'm just gently having my fingertips on the ground. Not like pressing all my weight to my hands, just barely touching so that my chest is pressed up. I'm going to press the back shoelace part of my foot into the ground so hard that the knee lifts and gently touches back down. So you just got 3 like that. So you feel a deep stretch here in your hip flexor. If your ankles are really tight, you might just feel it on your foot, and that's okay too. Wherever you feel, it's just fine. We do 3. I think that might be the 3rd. There we go. We'll leave it there. And then coming up for our asana, our low lunge. So shoulders come up over hips, arms come up overhead. If you're stuck here, you might just need to bring this back knee in a bit more. But I want you to feel a nice stretch in this front left thigh, instead of it just being like a marriage proposal pose, which we use sometimes in class. I want this knee to be as far back as it works for you to still be able to have your shoulders up over your hips. There's a little bit of that engagement, so you don't have to like press the foot so hard that the knee lifts with your shoulders up over your hips, but you want a little bit of that foot press to keep this nice and engaged. It's called asana, low lunge. Deep breath in, reaching through the fingertips. And on an exhale, cactus, bend the elbows like goalposts. And elbows squeeze back behind you. Shoulder blades are squeezing together like you're holding a pencil between them. Maybe the chest tilts up a bit, squeezing the glute to connect your lower back. Got a breath here. Then we'll bring it back, upright, and give yourself a hug. Right arm comes over left arm. So right arm over left arm, reaching back for the shoulder blades. It's okay if you don't reach them, but that's just kind of like the direction you're going in. Did you say marriage proposal pose? I see what you did there with the yeah, so it's not called that in Sanskrit or English, but like I thought that would be like an easy visual for you guys to get, like marriage proposal pose. But like I meant that from like romantic comedy movies more so than yoga. Alright, so then we're gonna release the hands, but keep the elbows stacked. Back of the hands touch, and then the right hand moves in towards your forehead, and when it goes back forward, it goes towards the palm of the left hand. So eagle pose. So if you know eagle arms, you're coming into eagle arms. If not, you're really just twisting your arms together. You reach the elbows up, and on exhale, folding forward. So you might be able to hook the elbows on the knee, like just rest them on the knee, but really we're just reaching forward here. Full breath. And then we're going to untwist the arms, open them up like wings on a bird. Then left hand releases down to the mat. Right arm sweeps towards the sky for a low twist. Hand comes down to frame the right foot. Left toes tuck under. Send the right foot back. Plank pose. Inhale, shifting the weight forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Elbows just come to 90 degrees. Then inhale into upward facing dog. Chest presses forward, shoulders pulled back. Option here also to release the hips to the ground, and then the elbows stay bent, pressing the chest more so forward than up. Toes tuck under, hips press up high from whichever version or posture you're in, towards the sky for downward facing dog. Just taking a moment here before wiggling or anything like that to really compare left and right hip, left and right leg in your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nice. Then the right leg, no. Then the left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Sorry, it took me a second. For three-legged dog. Knee bends, the left knee bends, and stack left hip over the right hip. The arms stay straight and strong. Really, we're just working on opening the hips here. Don't get the shoulders involved or anything like that. So, heel is reaching towards the butt, knees reaching towards the sky, really opening up the hips here. Last breath. We'll square the hips, extend the leg, three-legged dog, then tiger's pose, rounding in the spine, knee comes in towards nose, lifting up onto the right tip toes, shoulders come up over the wrists, left foot steps up between the hands. Once again, it can take more than one step here, so however you get there is just fine. And we'll gently release the right knee down to the mat. Untuck the toes and just check in. Left knee should be over left ankle, adjusting accordingly to make it that so. If it's not, give yourself a little space, just untented fingertips. The right foot pressing into the shoelace part of that foot so hard that the knee lifts and gently lowers 3 times. We're just giving a strong press into the ground with that foot, extending the leg straight. And last time, really working to open up the front of the right leg. And the next time it touches down, we'll sweep the arms up for Anjaneyasana low lunge. Shoulders are up over the hips, adjusting accordingly to make that so. Deep breath in here. And on the exhale, bend the elbows, goalpost the arms, squeezing shoulder blades behind you, squeezing the elbows back behind you. Option to tilt the chest open, or tilt the chest up rather. Little baby back bend. Then bringing it back up through center. Give yourself a hug with the left arm reaching up over the right arm. Reaching back for shoulder blades. And then releasing the hands, just the elbows stay stacked. Backs of the hands come to touch. Left hand comes in towards the forehead. And then when it reaches back forward, it goes towards the palm. So I'm twisting the left hand towards the right hand. Garudasana arms, eagle arms. Inhale, reaching the shoulders up, or rather the elbows up. And exhale, hinging forward, reaching forward. Maybe even getting my elbows past this left knee. Release the arms like the wings of a bird. Left hand comes to the right hand comes to the inside of the left foot. And left arm sweeps open for a low lunge twist. One deep breath here. And we'll release that hand down to frame the foot. Right toes tuck under, left foot steps back to meet the right. Plank pose, straight line from the heels to the crown of the head, and an inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, lowering down halfway. Toes tuck under, chest presses through in your upward facing dog or cobra. Just got a full breath here. Still the shoulder blades are squeezing in towards one another. Good morning, Sammy Yoga. Hello, hello. Monte Carlo, your house looks nice. By just looking at your living room. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Monte Carlo. Alright, then toes tuck under, hips press up high for downward facing dog. So finding that spacing that works for you, giving that bilateral comparison left and right. So yeah, if you've been with the stream long enough, I started streaming, like 6 months ago? You've seen my bedroom, you've seen like one half of my bedroom, the other half of my bedroom, the living room. You've seen like basically every corner of my house except the kitchen and bathroom, because I've been like trying to find the best place to stream from in my actual apartment, which is like 900 square feet, so it's like slightly limited options. But I feel like this one works nice with the window. Or like it's really a sliding door, but you know, we do what we can. So anyway, thanks. Alright, so take a deep breath in here, come up high onto tiptoes, and then exhale, release the heels towards the ground. It's okay if they don't touch, just wherever they go. Another deep breath in, lift up high onto tiptoes. Exhale, lower the feet, heels down. And last time, tiptoes. Release heels down. Bend in the knees, look up between your hands, step or hop up to the top of the mat. So you can take a bunch of little baby steps or 2 big steps, it's all good. Big toes come to touch, a little space between the heels. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We'll bend in the knees, roll it all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Alright, I'm going to face this way because speaking of the light, I'm still trying to figure out, I feel like you guys can see, like it's too shadowy in that direction, so I'm going to face this direction, but you can face whichever direction works for you. Face your screen probably. So, arms sweep up overhead. And on an exhale, the right arm sweeps under the left arm. Like we did before, we were giving ourselves a hug kind of deal. Backs of the hands come to touch, we come into eagle arms. The left hand comes in towards the forehead, and then reaches forward for the right palm. We're gonna bend, sorry, I'll face you guys so you can see. Bend in the knees, and open up the right knee. So the right knee just opens up like a cabinet door opening, as far as it can go. And we'll cross this leg high over the left leg. Maybe this foot hooks behind the calf or ankle. Maybe it doesn't, that's okay. Option here too to keep the toe on the ground so my legs are crossed, knees are bent deep. toe stays on the ground. I'm squeezing between my elbows, squeezing between my knees. It can feel intuitively like you want to stand up tall, but that makes the pose actually quite a bit harder. So by keeping the knees bent, it's easier to squeeze everything towards center line, Garudasana, eagle pose. The elbows can be reaching up, feel that stretch in the shoulders, or they can be pulling down towards the belly button, different stretch in the shoulders. So you can kind of decide, one's not more advanced than the other. Just kind of decide where along that trajectory feels like a nice stretch for your shoulders. And then we hinge at the hips here. So folding in half is called nested eagle. Unhook, all right, challenge here. Unhook the left leg and send it back behind you. Arms unfold like the wings of a bird. 4, warrior 3, baby. It's all good if you fall out. And then we're gonna bend that front knee to float the leg down, landing in a high lunge. All right, let's adjust accordingly to get the spacing right. Right knee forward. Right now, yes, right knee forward, left leg back. Here we are in our high lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Squeezing the shoulder blades back behind you. And then inhale, we hinge forward, reaching the arms forward. And exhale, the hands come down to frame the right foot. Right arm sweeps open. So we're in a twist, but this time with the back leg up. So I'm really working towards getting this right shoulder over the left shoulder, leaning back, opening my chest towards the sky. And then sweep this arm forward, drop the left heel down to the mat, and cartwheel the arms open for warrior 2. Yes. So for warrior 2, my right toes are facing the short end of the mat, knee over ankle, and left leg is straight, toes facing the long side of the mat. So if I were to draw a line from the front heel straight back, it would intersect the arch of my back foot. Arms are parallel to the ground. On an inhale, let's extend this front leg straight, arms sweep up towards the sky. And exhale, just the right knee bends, warrior 2. Inhale, front leg extends straight. Exhale, warrior 2. Then reverse warrior, keep the knee bent. Right arm reaches over for that side bend we were working on earlier. The bottom arm can reach across the belly, grabbing for the side body. And then extend this leg straight, arms come parallel to the ground. Drop the right hip, left hip pops up. Reaching forward, just that front arm releases down to the inside of the calf, left arm towards the sky, triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana. So it's like you're between 2 panes of glass, strong in the legs here, deep breath in. And exhale, bend in the right knee, hands come to frame this foot, and we'll step it up to the top of the mat. Big toes come to touch, a little space between the heels. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale rolls you all the way up. You can have a little bend in the knees to protect the lower back for that movement. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. We'll do it this way, that way. See again. Exhale, this time the left arm reaches over, like you're giving yourself a hug. And then we bring the hands, backs of the hands together for Garudasana, eagle arms. Right hand comes in towards the forehead and then reaches forward for the palm of the left hand. Bring a bend to the knees like you're sitting in a chair. Left knee right knee opens out to the side. Then we're crossing this leg high over the left thigh. If it's reaching back, maybe it touches down to the ground for a little bit of stability. Toes just barely touching, or maybe it hooks behind. A lot of self-hugs today. You know what? You're right. That wasn't even planned. But we're just, you know what? Who doesn't need a hug? Oh man, we should have done more self-hugs during self-isolation, huh? Alright, so here we are in our Garudasana eagle pose. Remember, the straighter your legs are, it's going to be more challenging and unnecessarily so. So instead, we're going to bend in the knees, build some strength in the legs, and squeeze the knees together. Elbows are squeezing together too, and here we're finding that stretch in the shoulders. So you're going to reach the elbows up and down, finding where along that trajectory feels best for the shoulders. Hold it there, and the breathing continues in our eagle pose. And then coming into nested eagle, we hinge from the hips. So I'm folding in half. Uncross the legs. Right leg gets sent behind you. Keep a little bend in that bottom left leg. And the arms open up like the letter T, or like wings on a bird, if you will. For Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Like you're making the letter T with your body. Bend in the front knee. Right toes touch down for your high lunge. Turn to face this side. Okay, so you can adjust the legs, I just did, so that you're not on a balance beam. Your right foot is close to the right edge of the mat, your left foot's closer to the left edge of the mat. There's going to be more stability there. Left knee over left ankle. You take a deep breath in, fingers reach towards the sky. And exhale, bend in the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together like you're pulling your elbows towards one another as well. As you reach forward, hinging from the hip, reaching forward towards the front of the room, then hands release down to frame this left foot. Left arm sweeps up towards the sky for a low lunge twist. So I'm really pulling this left shoulder back, stacking the shoulders on top of one another, reaching through the left fingertips. Just feel a nice stretch in this whole outside edge of the leg and glute. And then that hand comes down to frame the foot. Drop the right heel down and cartwheel the arms open for Warrior 2 on the other side. So remember, it's like if you were to draw a line from the front heel back, it would intersect the arch of the back foot. Left knee over the left ankle, pressing into the pinky side edge of the right foot, which is facing the long side of the mat. And inhale, oh, feels good, extend the leg long. Hands reach up towards one another. Exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, extend the left leg long. Exhale, just left knee bends. Once more like that. Legs extend long. Exhale, just left knee bends. Then reverse warrior. Side bending to the right. Right hand reaches for outside of the left side body. And then extend that leg long as the arms come back to parallel. Drop the left hip down, right hip pops up, reaching forward towards the front wall. Just the left hand releases down to the inside of the calf and left arm towards the sky for Utthita Trikonasana, our straight-legged triangle pose. We're breathing fully here, building up quite a bit of heat, doing great. Like you're between two panes of glass, we really want to keep this right shoulder over the left shoulder. So we're staying open and long and lean today. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend in that front knee. Hands come down to frame the foot and step the right foot up to meet the left. Big toes come to touch. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Take a sip of tea. Good work. That was like a solid like power yoga flow. It just happened. Whatever effort you just put in is amazing. Good for you. It's like probably more advanced than we usually practice in class, but I don't know, we're just rolling with it, just feeling it. Let's shake it out. Whatever just happened, whatever, cool. Yeah, whatever you just fell out of or accomplished or whatever, we're just gonna shake it out here. Just let it go. So lifting the heels and dropping the heels create this bounce, this shake in the body. I just like lifting and dropping my shoulders for a lymphatic shake. So shaking, lymphatic shaking is all about letting go. Power level 9,000 yoga game. Yeah, you know, I think that's what happened at 9 Easy. We just like, since meditation, we've just been escalating. This class escalated so quickly. No, it's good. I think it's good because we haven't been here in a while. I haven't practiced in a while. So it's good to be back and to just get into it headstrong, build up some heat, build up some strength, middle of the summer, you know? So I felt like I was getting a little burnt out earlier anyway, like slowing down, but it's all good. Life comes in waves. We had a full moon last night. Well, 2 nights ago officially, but last night she was still pretty full. So, you know, a little eccentric energy. So what are we doing here? So if you're not familiar with class, welcome. And lymphatic shaking is a way, we're really just bouncing. So you can like get a full hop if you have the energy. Otherwise, you're just lifting and dropping the heels, lifting and dropping the heels. And it's all about helping drain the lymphatic system, which helps get rid of and filter out toxins in the body. I'm not even talking like on a spiritual level or anything like that. I'm talking like physical, like Western science medicine. That is what the lymphatic system does, but it requires movement. So like the circulatory system has the heart to pump blood through, keep it oxygenated, and get rid of carbon dioxide. The lymphatic system does not have a heart or a pump. So it relies on movement for proper functioning. So this just helps flush it out. If you run, if you have like a trampoline practice, like if you're an acrobat or something, like you're probably fine. And we had a pretty heated yoga class, so actually regular yoga classes, flowing yoga classes help with lymphatic drainage, but I just like adding this recommended 3 minutes of lymphatic shaking into every class. Because maybe you came late, or maybe this is the part you show up for. I just think it's a nice thing to incorporate. Okay, so we've got like 10 seconds left. So whatever you've got left to shake, I feel like emotionally it feels good for me too. And other people have said that too, so I'm just gonna shake. 2, 1, okay. Whew, just take a moment here. Cool, cool. And now this next practice is called Breath of Joy. So pranayama, it's a breathing technique, breathing exercise. This one's all about letting go. So you just want to take up space, be loud. Feet come shoulder distance apart. And it's a 4-part breath. It's 3 sips of air in through the nose and a big ha out of the mouth. So go sip of air in, so like 33% of your lung capacity, arms sweep up. Sip of air in, 33% of your lung capacity in, arms sweep out. And sip of air in, arms sweep up, the rest of your full lung capacity when you go ha, and arms throw back. Careful not to arch your back when you're inhaling. You just want to keep the back nice and strong. We have about 10 rounds of this. So just let yourself take up space, have fun with it. There's really not like a wrong way of doing it. Go in, ha, in, ha, in, ha, in, in, ha! 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 2 more. If you haven't joined in yet, now's your chance. Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! All right, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. You can let your eyes close. Just take a moment here to arrive. Just notice the temperature of the air on your skin, your heart rate, and anything else that may have shifted since the beginning of practice. Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something worth noticing. Gently blink your eyes open, grab a sip of water, towel off any sweat that may have built up. I'm a little sweaty. We've made it to the groundwork part of class. Alright, so if you're already on the ground, you just stay there. And if you're not, you can come down with me, meet at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, bend in the knees deep, 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 so deep. Then we come to seated. Feet come to touch, knees splay open for a bound ankle pose. This is like really dark, babe. What? Helpful, maybe? Me. Alright, well, we're doing what we can. Alright, so just letting the knees splay open to the side. And give the feet a little, it's like a little massage. Oh, good, I'm glad. Good, I'm glad. Alright. So let's get a nice grab of the ankles or the shins, wherever you can reach. Get nice and tall, so I'm just using my hands as leverage to press my chest forward. Almost like I'm going to go into a back bend with a deep breath in. And then the exhale is belly, chest, head comes forward. You reach the arms forward if you just want to drape over the legs today. Or you can keep a grip on the ankles and press the elbows into the knees. This will help open the hips up, but you can decide which variation you prefer. So every exhale is just an opportunity to relax into the pose. Nowhere to go but here. And we'll release back up to seated. Bring the knees together, shifting forward a bit in the hips. Hands come behind the knees, belly presses up against the thighs, and we tilt back for our Urdhva Navasana, our upward facing boat pose. Just lifting the feet. I'm balancing on 3 points here. My 2 sit bones, left and right, my tailbone. So that's how far back you need to lean back. But if you round in the spine, you're going to create a C shape, and then you're going to roll back all the way. So you want to keep the spine nice and long, and that's going to keep you like on that tripod. Working towards getting the shins parallel to the ground. Deep breath in here. And the exhale, maybe the hands release out to the side. Inhale holds you in place. And exhale extends the legs out a bit. Inhale to hold. Exhale, extend. Inhale to hold. Exhale, extend. Just hollow body. Inhale to hold. And exhale, full body stretch, full release. Hands and feet reaching for all four corners of the mat. Nice. All right. Knees bend and feet come in close, rather hip distance apart, close in towards the hips. Let's bring the hands down by the sides, tuck the shoulders under. Give the hips just a little tuck. So my lower back is not touching the ground when I just lay naturally. But when I tuck the hips, my lower back gets flat with the ground. So just a little posterior tilt. Okay. Then I'm going to peel the hips up off the mat, followed by my lower back, middle back, and upper back for bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. I'm pressing the heels into the ground, squeezing my glutes to lift my hips even higher, and then option here to tuck the shoulders under even more and interlace the hands. Some holds like you're holding your own hand, and pressing that fist into the ground is going to press the ground away and lift it up even, lift your hips up even higher while giving your shoulders a nice stretch. You might even get your hips so high that your chest is pressing into your throat a bit. That's all intentional, so no need to panic, just breathing fully here, pressing the hips towards the sky, pressing the heels into the ground, keeping the feet on the ground. So you don't want to come up onto tiptoes or anything like that. One more breath here. Then we're going to unlace the fingers, untuck the shoulders, and roll down one vertebra at a time from top to bottom. Taking your time, no rush to get there. Release. Nice. Heels walk to the outer edges of the mat. Just drop the knees side to side. Releasing any tension that might have built up in the lower back. All right, then knees come in towards the body or towards the chest. And we're just going to drop the knees over to the right. Arms open up like the letter T, palms face open towards the sky. And I'm working towards getting my left shoulder to press down onto the ground. Gaze can look over this extended left arm. For Supta Matsyasana, supine spinal twist. Head comes up through center, knees come up through center, and we'll release the knees over to the left. And I look over the right arm, and that right shoulder is pressing down towards the ground. So this spinal twist is great if you're working with or dealing with any like lower back pain, sciatica, lumbar spine pain. You don't need to do a whole yoga class to get to this pose. You can do this like before bed or even in bed. And just breathe, allowing the exhalations to relax you deeper into the posture. We'll bring the head back through center, the knees back through center. Knees a hug, and then notice, is there any last movement or pose that your body's asking for? And let yourself move through that freely. So sometimes we ask our body what it needs. When it answers, it won't be in words, just in feelings, so you just kind of gotta roll through it. And just practice intuitively moving with your body. There's no wrong answers. Doesn't have to have a yoga name or anything like that. So whatever's going to have you feel like a well-rounded, complete practice. As you're ready, as you're feeling satisfied with that, we'll come to our Shavasana, final relaxation pose. Legs down, extended the length of the mat. Feet come at least a foot apart. Legs so relaxed the feet naturally splay open to the sides. Got a dog hair in my face. Okay. Arms released down by the sides, shoulders tucked under, supporting the chest, palms face open to the sky, symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. And the head's neutral, not on a pillow or anything, just flat on the ground with the rest of the body. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, if not, a soft gaze towards the ceiling is fine. Feet are laying flat on your back like this brings discomfort to your back. You can bend in the knees, bringing the feet to the outer edges of the mat and allow the knees to knock together. Lift and tuck the hips, gently placing them down, almost like going into that bridge pose. But then just let the whole body relax. It's called broken bridge. And that'll alleviate any tension that builds up in that area of the body. Go grab a singing bowl. You just begin connecting with your breath here, relaxing into the ground. Shavasana is all about integration, allowing the effort of your practice to sink into your bones, into your mind, as muscle memory and memories learned, or lessons learned. We'll begin with 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose and an audible sigh out the mouth. And allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Inviting your exhalations to become deeper and longer than your inhalations. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. And the tongue falls away from the roof of the mouth. A symbol of chitta, vritti, monkey mind. And just allow that monkey to sit this one out. Relaxing the lips and jaw, nose and nostrils, as air gently passes through like waves lapping up to shore. Eyes rest heavy in their sockets, eyelids just barely touching. And the space between the eyebrows broadens as the muscles in the forehead relax. All the muscles surrounding the ears, all their wrinkles and folds rest all the way deep into the ear canals. And the muscles on the top and back of the head. The whole head rests heavy, supported by the ground below. Neck and throat relax. Shoulders and shoulder blades melt away. Upper arms and elbows release. Forearms and wrists relax. Palms, backs of the hands, knuckles, fingers, fingertips, fingernail beds, whole hands rest. Whole hands integrate all that you practice. Upper back, middle and lower back, relax. Chest and belly naturally rise and fall with the breath. Pelvis, glutes and hips rest heavy. Thighs and knees relax. Shins, calves and ankles melt away. Heels, arches, toe ball mounds, tops of the feet, and all of the toes relax. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Whole body rests. Notice if in your mind, if only for one moment, that inner dialogue quieted. Notice if in your breath there's ease. body. The places of tension have found space. And the places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. Know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more and nothing less. Gently allow your inhalations to deepen as fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. Head gently rocks side to side as that feeling of heaviness and sinking is replaced by a feeling of lightness and expansion. Every inhale bringing your awareness towards the surface. Arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural, landing in a fetal position. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow as you fully relax and fully release, supported by the ground below. Bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class today. You might take a moment to set an intention now. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, you can press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a fiery flow to open up the shoulders and strengthen and lengthen the legs. The first namaste is said silently to thank your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something that serves you. Oh, who did we? Hi, Yoga. Thanks for the raid. I appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. I don't know if you've met before, but yeah, my name's Samala. It's like Pamela, but with an S. Here I'm kind of just three-eyed tiger. Namaste Swiss, Namaste Sam Yoga, Namaste Ben, Hey Cool Sword, and I'm Easy, Namaste. Hi there, new here, yeah. That was intense, but I feel much better. Yes, I was, honestly, it was more intense than I was planning on teaching, but then I was just like, you know, you do one side, I'm like, all right, I gotta even it out with the other side, so it just became like a much more heated class than I was planning, but I got a Sunday workout in, you know? So Hi Yoga, I don't know if you're here for actual class. So today was like a more heated class than like normal, but I'm really open to suggestions and recommendations and requests, so every class is different. We always have the same format. We start with meditation, then we do warm-ups, get into some more vinyasa flowing type stuff, breath of joy, like breathing techniques, and end with shavasana. Weird moves. Hey, oh, you missed me again. No worries. I know you're like a totally different time zone, but we're here every Sunday and Monday. Fire class. Thanks, 7 Easy. Yeah, so I'm back in town. Sorry I missed it, but it sounds cool. I love the singing, the sound bowl. Oh, yay. Okay, well, I'm glad they made it for the singing bowl part. Yeah, so I have a whole set of set. I have a whole set of these that my friend is, Ale is lending me, so I've got to play with them like all summer, which is really fun. I might be sending them off to the next, giving them back to her soon, so glad you got to catch that. I'm working a ton these days. Oh, okay, well, I feel like that's probably good news. Just because I think a lot of people like have been having trouble finding work, so I'm glad that you have found work. Yeah. So I'm glad you guys were able to join. I'm here every Monday and what's it called? Sunday and Monday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Recordings of class. I do have a private link on private YouTube for Money is great too. Yeah, speaking of, Money's not here, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know if it'll work. Let's find out. Yeah, so of course class is free, but tips are super appreciated. $5 does get you a recording of class, so you can come back to this this practice at any time. So private link, and yeah, appreciate it. It helps me out a lot as I'm figuring my life out. But you're always welcome, no matter what. Just your presence is a gift to me as well. Let's see, who do we want to raid today? Pink Tai Chi, I haven't seen her online in a long time. Let's keep this raid train going. And unless there's somebody else that you'd like me to raid. Musa Boots on too. Well, I really want to go see Pink. I feel like she's like super good energy at after our Sunday classes, even though today's was a little bit more fiery. Who knows, maybe she's doing something fiery too. What tea did you get today? Oh, I'm drinking more of this licorice tea. So it's like licorice and what's it called? Like cinnamon, I think. It's really good. I love it. It doesn't taste like licorice candy. Licorice tea is different. You're welcome. Thanks for being here, Evolve. And definitely check out Evolve. What's it called? Evolve Yourself TV. And yeah, it's so nice to see everyone back again. Hey. Do you do private classes? I do. I don't do private classes for free. Those I charge for, but you can definitely DM me about it. Yeah, I've been teaching private Zoom classes, but free and public ones are here. So it's much love. Alright, let's all go say hi to Ping, Tai Chi, and I'm gonna stay with my friends. Have a great rest of your weekend.